Hello and welcome to a new See You Next Time. Today, unfortunately, you've only got myself, Ed1, and Ed's case his number came up, and I've still forgotten what number it was. So I could deliberately give him the wrong number because I got it wrong the first time I did it, and now I can't remember what number it is anyway. Seven, seven? No, is it? No, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the
yeah,
correct one
Seamus,
is there. Hello!
the luckiest
Greetings,
man in the
everyone.
world. Look at him, he's even had his haircut, so he looks like me. Quite
Or
sad, really.
maybe it's
You know, hero
something.
worship. It's wait, what's it? I keep
It
forgetting he's
could
got
be
the
a
belt.
forfeit or something, but no one knows.
Wow, yeah, could be related. Throw me, family did go everywhere. Had a pirate as a great granddad, and he was everywhere. Anyway, yeah. So, um, what are we going to talk about today? Oh, we got. I tell you what, we've
But
got to start with the big news. Arne Slot has been nominated for Manager of the Month. No, really.
you know, which month of which year?
This month, he's been nominated.
Uh,
3 wins out of 3 in the league, so he's got nominated for Manager of the Month.
When did that happen?
It's hard to believe. I mean, 3 wins. I just, because it was sandwiched in between some utter dogma performances in the Cup and the Champions League. You tend to forget he did actually win 3 games in a row in the league. Premier League, not Champions League, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you beat Palace. Who are the other two?
Oh, shit. Well, that is a good question. Hang on.
And you're a Liverpool supporter
It's because they
who
were so
runs a
bad. They were so bad. They
fan
were, you
side.
know what I mean? They were wins, but they weren't good. You know what I mean? None of them were good football. Fulham,
So
of
maybe
course. Bloody
Slot.
Everton.
Oh,
Fuck's sake, Everton. Of course.
yes.
Fulham and Everton, because Fulham were dreadful, Everton were dreadful, and Crystal Palace were dreadful, but we'll take it. Gotta be. Who's the other ones? Who's the other ones? That's the question I haven't looked at. I was just so shocked. Nuno Espirito Santo. I didn't see that one. Daniel Fark. Yeah, understandable. Pep Guardiola. Understandable. Fabian Aitzler. Suppose. Iriola. Yeah.
Oh,
And Pereira. I'm not so sure. Interesting.
Hurstler has actually quietly
Mm.
done a good job of it.
Yeah,
There
well,
was a point in season where I'm pretty sure we also talked about it either on podcast or somewhere else, but there was a time where we were like, is it getting to the same old stage with Brighton where everything becomes stale and then they're just 10th and then they're just 10th and then they're just 11th. But now they're actually playing some good
yeah.
football as well,
I'm
to be
challenging
fair.
for Europe. Let's see if they could do it. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see somebody new in there. Though personally, you know why? I'd rather it wasn't them after the way they've treated some of their fans. So,
Yeah,
Um,
I think we will see at least one new team in the top seven. Like one new team is going to
mm,
play in the in competition from the Premier League. But I'm sure everybody would love that to be two new teams so that a certain blue giant big club miss out after billions and billions and billions. Chelsea.
oh, you said big club. Sorry, that was what confused me.
I also said billions.
Yes, of course, yes. Yeah, well, it could have been Everton because they did throw away billions when they first started spending money, remember? And Usmanov, they did throw away pretty much close to a billion anyway,
No,
especially
it
on that
was
stadium.
yeah.
On that stadium to give us our first victory there.
That was an amazing travel where you take it. If you know, you know.
So, so what do we reckon? Top 5? Do you think that's set now in stone?
It's not set in stone, but someone will have to do a job pretty similar to what Arsenal are doing to
But
bottom
Villa,
now.
are Villa going to drop out? Is the question.
I think I said it last time we talked as well. Like it's not about are the teams who are in the top five places good enough to stay there. It's more a case of they have enough buffer that no one else is good enough to close that
Mm,
gap.
yeah, yeah, that's where I think Villa might just have reached. What, 8 points with 4 games? So,
And you say like it's oh Villa can do it, but have you seen the next two teams they play? Like they're
mm,
playing 18th and 19th in the league. Surely they can, even if they don't play well, surely they can get by one or two results from there.
they should get a result from Burnley. But then again, Scott Parker's gone today, hasn't he? So, who
I think
knows?
that should be our next uh, destination, the managerial merry-go-round. I don't know whether we can say it
Yeah.
merry-go-round, but yeah, the
Well, it's certainly
managerial.
starting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea, Leandro Senior has aged out.
I'm going to miss Rosina. He's hilarious. Absolute knobhead. He's, I mean, he
It's
constantly tries to pretend to be clever. Everything about him was like he's clearly cultivated an image to try and make himself look clever. And, that's why he had these stupid sayings. It's all about looking clever when he isn't. He clearly isn't clever. Otherwise, he'd know
I
that
actually
saying things like man agent just makes you sound like an absolute moron to anyone with a brain cell.
I actually read somewhere that him wearing the glasses is also
Yeah, it's just put on.
just for the looks.
Well, yeah, it's totally. He doesn't need glasses. He just does it to make himself look clever. It's everything about him, even the way he chooses his clothes deliberately to look clever. It's all about presenting an image. He thinks that's what he thinks that'll do. That's how you become a great coach. Because he obviously hasn't realised that coaching's involved. Ugh. I'll miss him though still because he still made me laugh every time. I mean, respecting the ball. That's why they huddled round it. On the referee.
Around the ball, they're all around there.
Oh, what was? I mean, where are we going to get comedy gold like that from without him?
Surely someone is gonna take a punt on him now because he's ex-Chelsea.
Yeah, possibly, but who? I mean, who's going to take a punt on that? I mean, he's awful, absolute disaster. He's got to be
No,
up
so
there
I'm pretty
as.
sure.
Is he the worst manager in the Premier League ever? He's got to be in the running, hasn't he? I'm not sure he actually is it, but he's got to be in the conversation, hasn't he?
There's Frank de Boer who always comes up in this sort of
Oh,
conversation,
yes, of course, yes, yeah.
and his career after getting the sack at Palace just supports that argument. He
Mm,
didn't do it well anywhere else after that. Like
mm.
not nowhere near what he was hyped up when he was at Ajax.
Yeah,
Then
that Ajax clearly is just that it's you go in, you're doing what they tell you to do, so you're not actually doing anything yourself, and it's like being at Red Bull, one of the Red Bull coaches. You're not really
I
proving
think
how good you are, you're proving how good their setup is, aren't you?
someone
Brentford as well, another one.
ah no someone at Newcastle. It's not joking. There's another guy. I think he would get in the shout for not being too good. Came in as a as an interim from the coaching setup, then did well for a few games, got the gig permanently, then fluffed it off completely. Is it Irvin or something? I just forget.
No, I don't know who
But
you mean.
Rosenior gets the vote for
Yeah.
the recency bias.
Yeah, he's definitely in the conversation, isn't he? Which is a shame. I'd have liked him to have done well just because, like I said, his statements were just hilarious. He's like he was like some of the in-betweeners, really. You know the
Igor Tudor. Hold on.
ooh. Oh yes, so yeah,
But
that's a good shout. Good shout.
hang on. Igor Tudor is the reason that Arnold Slot should not get any more credits and credentials from here on in. The only point he won was against you guys. Richarlison nearly won it, but did get an equalizer against you.
That's a scary thought, that is,
At
isn't it?
Anfield. At Anfield.
Oh, that's a scary thought. Their only
That is what
point.
happened.
Wow.
Yeah. His only
Wow.
point.
Right. Who else has changed? So Parker's gone as well today. Who do you think?
Then,
Looks like Steven Gerrard's the likely man. That seems to be who they want. Not sure if we will go there, though. 'Cause I think he's
but that
still.
seems to be their template, no? This higher, high profile
Hmm.
ex pro. Some like an ex pro was a very good footballer in the sense. And I know you're gonna say, "Oh, Scott Parker," but in the
No,
grand scheme of
I
things,
rated
he
him.
was a good player.
I rated Parker as a player. I liked him.
This company before that, now they're linked with Gerard. I wouldn't be surprised if they got linked with Rooney just because he's high profile.
Hmm.
I'm not saying they're good choices. I'm just saying that that seems to be their
Yeah.
model, like someone with a big name.
Yeah, because they've got that new ownership who really don't seem to be big football people as such, do they? Seem to be more just going for names because that's because they've heard of them rather than
Could they take a punt in Liam Rashid? Because he
that'll be
now
funny.
has a bit of a profile.
Yeah, that'll
Chelsea.
be funny. Well, maybe you'd do better at a team like that.
And also, like, we do make fun of people. Like, I was a huge troll for Frank Lampard, and then he's getting his shot at Premier League again. So you never
Mm.
know. Maybe
Oh yeah,
Chelsea's bad.
yeah, but I mean, Frank Lampard. What do you think? Do you think they'll do all right, Coventry? While we're on the subject next
Like,
season,
what is doing all right for them, man?
surviving.
They, but
That's it,
I
innit?
don't think
That's their
it's.
sole aim.
I don't think we can say like they should be surviving or anything. Like they should give a good account of themselves. That should be the main thing. Like it shouldn't be how Burnley had done this season. It should be how Leeds have done.
Or
I'm not
Sunderland.
gonna say Sunderland. Like
Hmm.
no, I'm not gonna say
Yeah, but that's
Sunderland
their
because
aim. Hmm.
no, they're doing a bit too much. What Leeds are doing, giving
Yeah.
a real go at it, like playing your style, but also not being naive,
Hmm.
being
Yeah.
sensible.
But aren't the Leeds only like a few points below Sunderland now? There's only like 9 points between them now. So,
Yeah, but Leeds are playing to survive. Sunderland maybe
yeah.
are a bit complacent now that they've won. I
Yeah, they've
think
got nothing left,
there
have
is.
they?
I've not looked at the table, but there is a real possibility that they're already mathematically safe.
Yeah, they've got 46 or 48. I can't. 46, I think it is. They're already safe. Anyway, Newcastle, I
Maybe they
think, are
are.
the only ones that are I think are the only team left now that are mathematically unsafe, isn't it? It's from Newcastle down, isn't it? Sure, I read that
Yeah, I think
somewhere.
Newcastle are 42. How would how?
Oh,
I don't think it's gonna happen, but how would it be like from
that
Champions League to Champions League?
that would be some fall. That would, but it gotta be Spears to go down this year. Surely they've been
You cannot
absolutely
like.
abysmal.
There is not a world where you can get relegated with a Tonali and Bruno midfield,
To be
especially
fair,
when they are motivated to pay for a move.
a lot of their teams been out injured. A lot of their midfield. It was mostly Tonali on his own, wasn't it, for large periods? Basically, their midfield and that Ramsey playing and There's I can't
Willock.
remember. Yeah,
There was
Willock.
Willock. There
That's
was
yeah.
Heidi, the young kid.
Yeah, he tends to.
Actually,
He's played a lot of fullback, hasn't he, as well?
yeah, they have struggled with injuries. That is something we have
But
to.
but they
But
still.
you cannot just use injuries as an excuse. Like if we're gonna give a
Mm,
pass for injury, then Spurs should get a pass. But
mm.
that doesn't happen.
Everybody has injuries, but it's you still manage to get out. I mean, I bet Arsenal are complaining about injuries. They're having to play Ben White at fullback for God's sake, and he's that's a dogma. He's always been dogma. I've never rated him, never liked him, and things are bad when
You
he's
say that.
starting.
No, you say that, but whenever I watch Arsenal, the feeling I have is if Ben White isn't playing, their defenders they're not a threat on the ball whatsoever.
Oh, Timber, I like Timber. I think he's a very good player.
No, it's not about whether they're good or not. On the ball, they're not a threat.
Oh,
They're not gonna
I
make a
think Timber
pass
gets
like
forward well.
no,
White
they're
is
not gonna make
just
a pass
White will
like
just fall
how
asleep and do. He'll be too
what's his
busy
name?
checking his tan in the
Like
mirror.
he cannot make a diagonal ball like switch the play like Van Dijk can, or he
Mm.
cannot like no one is trained, but just to use an example,
Yeah, but
they're not a threat on the ball
yeah, but
when
what
they're
you get
passing.
with White is you get a player who not only is not a threat on the ball, but he'll also give the ball away repeatedly, and he'll fall asleep defensively because he doesn't care. He doesn't do it for the job. He doesn't do it for anything other than the fact that he wants to earn
It is a
money.
job for it. It
It's
is a job
it
for it.
reminds me of that Benoit Asuakota as well. He was the same. There's plenty of talent there, but they just don't care enough to make an effort, and so they don't play very well. Simple as that.
Legend about Aswai is he wouldn't know who he is facing
No,
when
he didn't have a clue, did he? And you're thinking,
at,
this is basic
at 1
thing.
o'clock you wouldn't know at 1 o'clock you wouldn't know who is facing a three.
No, I can't understand that. Me, I'd be reading up on them, wanting to know what foot they favour and watching videos of them to try and know, to teach myself how to stop, what they're likely to do. I'd want to know that. I just don't understand why he wouldn't.
It happens. No, it's an exception, but it happens.
Even if it's just a job to them, surely you'd want to, what, be better for your own sake, for you. It's personal pride. That's what I was trying to say. Your own personal pride would surely make you want to do better. Even in a job you hate, you'd surely take pride in doing a good job, even if you hate it. I do. I mean, even when I've hated jobs, I still can't help but do them well, or try to, and get better at them just because it's personal pride. You want to be as good as you can be, don't you? You don't want to be shit at everything. Or I would,
But
anyway.
anyways, we should get back to the managerial changes.
Yeah, so who else?
Not about Arsenal. They're not gonna change the manager right now.
Maybe if he fails again, I
I
could see it.
it was actually Bournemouth that prompted me to get you to do this podcast. It's
Yes,
Bournemouth.
yeah.
Iraola is confirmed to be leading. They've also confirmed their replacement, Marco Rosa.
Yeah, I think Rose should be, it looks on paper a very good choice anyway. Hard to tell, obviously, because it's translating it from a different environment to to the Premier League. It's a really different thing, but he looks to be a very good choice. He did better than he didn't deserve, in my opinion. He didn't deserve the sack he got when he got it. Was it? Oh shit.
Dortmund.
Dortmund, yes, yeah, and I thought he was doing well, and I think it's shown. I think what's happened since he's gone has shown they made a mistake. Um, yeah, I think that could be a good choice for them.
Hang, hang on. I'm not sure whether it was Gladbach, Dortmund, Leipzig, or Gladbach, Leipzig, Dortmund for him. It is those two teams. Like
Yeah,
it's you. He joined Gladbach, did well, and then it was Dortmund and Leipzig one way or the other way. But I think the most important thing for him is like for Bournemouth is he comes probably. having a point to prove
Hmm.
with the
Very good
last two
point.
jobs not doing as well as he and like people like us would have hoped and imagined for him, and then
Mm.
also he takes over a team that plays a plays somewhat of a similar way. Like
Mm.
he is he's a bit of not bit. He's a student of the Rangnick club style of football, like high energy, high pressing, gegen pressing
Yeah.
system, and Bournemouth are, if nothing else, they're a very good pressing side.
Yeah. Very good to watch Bournemouth. I really enjoyed him under Ario. Iriola.
So,
That's
so surely
it's
that
coming
shouldn't be
from.
a problem.
He keeps calling him Ariola. It's like, no, it's Irio. God, Ariola is the goalkeeper for
Um,
West Ham. Bit of a tip, but you know. Sorry, bad joke that. I
he,
apologise for that one.
no,
That's a terrible joke, and I keep saying it, and I don't know why. It's just like you just can't help yourself when you say Ariola. You just got to say bit of a tip, but you know, it. I'm
a bit of
sorry.
a bit of a teeter now, but he's a World Cup winning player, man. Come on,
Yeah, even though
he's
he's
a
not
World
even
Cup.
French, he's Filipino. It's just you know, it's they take it as a like bit of a slit that he dumped
Right?
them to play for France because his both parents are Filipino.
I I'm pretty sure he didn't actually play for France in the 2018 World Cup. He was the third
No,
string
he's on the
goalkeeper.
bench. Yeah, he was on the bench at the time. Bless him. But still, he was there. He was part of the squad. Which is far more than either of us have done.
He was the lucky charm that won them the
Mm.
golden thing.
Only because he
That is
wasn't
how you
playing.
look at
If he
it.
was playing, he wouldn't have been fully lucky because he's not that good. Oh, she is.
Oh, you say that, but 20 France, like they could
Yeah,
have had one of us go and
yeah, we could
probably.
have played, to be fair. Yeah, they wouldn't have mattered.
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have done much worse than what Hugo Lloris did in the final. So,
And let's face it, if Prickford can make a career out of being a goalkeeper, I think either of us could do fine as well. We both, you know, probably got longer
and
arms
with
and.
no Billy in sight, you can say that.
I'm gutted. I was hoping to say that when Billy was here. I've been saving that one for a chance to say it when Billy was here. And then the only chance I've got to say it was Billy's not here. Did you see his foul the other day against West Ham? Very
Uh-huh.
similar to the Van Dijk one, where he just went through himself at the player. But the player luckily managed to get his knee out of the way in time, and all he did was get on his ankle. Forget whether it was Tati or Pablo, someone like that. Whoa. How he doesn't get a red card for them, I do not understand. They're absolutely disgraceful challenges. He's literally lunging leg first. There's no need for it either. You know, he's not blocking the ball. He's attacking the players. It should be an automatic red card. He should, I mean, for me, he should be serving lengthy bans for him. They're hideous challenges. Honestly, you watch it when you get a chance. He got lucky he missed, you know what I mean? Because he definitely tries to take him properly, like he did with Van Dijk. Exactly the same challenge is what he tried to do. Horrible player. Shouldn't be playing football. Players like that because it's deliberate. Has to be deliberate because he knows what it'll do. And yeah, he keeps doing it. It's just out of order, if you ask me.
If Billy was around, I was going to ask him if Moyes has much left on his contract or
He's got another year, if I remember correctly.
okay.
There's a lot of argument over whether they need on the Everton side. There's a lot of them. It might 2 years actually, 2028 it might be. You know, there's a lot of argument on the Everton side actually about Moyes. There's those that think give him another year just to stabilise things a bit longer, and then look to change it because they'll to make the next step up. And there's a lot who think no, now's the time, get rid of him because he won't play young players. He's just going to bring in a bunch of old men and it'll set us back years. You know what I mean? It'll stick us in a rut for years, like where we are. He's never going to take us any further than that. And I can see both points of view, to be honest. It really is a
No,
difficult one.
but there's a balance. I think if they keep him around, maybe don't let him sign like, over the hill
Mm. Yeah, players like
doing trainers.
Suchek and that he wants to sign.
Yeah,
Mm,
maybe like not give him the keys to the transfer market. Just
mm.
treat him as a more of an advisor slash coach and not the
But he won't work in
economic.
those circumstances. He wouldn't have taken a job without having a say in the transfer market. That was one of the main provisos of any job he take because of the way things were so difficult at Man United. And that, he doesn't like that was what especially it was one of the reasons why he had trouble the first time at West Ham as well. Where they did do where he fell out because that was why he got pushed out the first time is because he wanted control over the transfers and that they pushed him out rather than give him it. So he's
Um,
really so I can't see that happening. So I think the choice is you
it,
either get rid of him and bring somebody else in, and somebody who's going to play a more attacking style of football, and bring and give the youngsters a chance, or you stick with Moyes and say this is where we are. We're mid-table mediocrity for now. We stabilise, and then we move on after we've had another year of that to settle the team in, and so we definitely clear the relegation and that relegation battle and that for a couple of seasons, and we can settle it down.
but it's
I
also about like who do you get and who can you get to replace him? That's the thing
well,
as well.
when there's managers like Iriola available, I just if you can
No,
get
but
someone like
there's one
that.
thing more. Irola is available, but I think it is pretty safe to assume that he is not available to Everton.
Yeah, you do think so, wouldn't you? You think he's a bigger fish to fry. But what I'm saying is, if you're Everton and you speak to Ariola and he says, "Do you know what? Yeah, I'd be quite interested in taking a job there," I think you'd have to be crazy to stick with David Moyes. But if you don't have an offer like, don't have a person like Iriola or someone who's a definite upgrade, I just don't see that there's anything to be gained by just getting rid of Moyes just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? I think they have to stick with him, don't they?
Yeah, there's a real chance that Irola gets maybe a Newcastle and then Everton get Eddie Howe.
Yeah, see, if the choice is Eddie Howe, I don't see the benefit in swapping over for Everton. Personally, but I'm not a
I
big
think
fan of
I
Howe.
think that I don't think they're gonna. I don't think anyone is gonna touch Ange Postecoglou with a passport at this point. And then you're, and then there are very few Premier League experienced candidates. Of course, if you pushed me, I would. If Everton asked me, I would suggest like take a punt on Roger Schmidt or an Adi
Mm,
Hooter, so guys like that. But that comes with a risk, especially like you said, like there isn't enough evidence to say that Everton are now well clear of the rupture.
yeah, exactly. They've still got a bit to go before they can be feeling safe, I think, yeah. Especially the way if teams come in like next season, Coventry, and that spend like Sunderland did, and spend it wisely like Sunderland did, it's going to
And
be a
also like
really
Ipswich,
difficult season next year. Yeah, Ipswich, they've already got plenty of experience in the Premier League.
they have a set of squad. They were up last year. Now there is a real chance that they
Emirates.
bounce back and with a bit more, a lot more experience, and also they probably know where and what they did wrong and where and how they can maybe try and improve. So
Mm.
you cannot be complacent like oh well safe and true, but
While we're on the subject, where do you think Areola will end up? I mean, obviously, we know his family wants to go
I
back to Spain. They're not happy in England, which is an issue because it seems like the best offers are likely to come from the Premier League for him.
Yeah, but also like if that if the family is not happy in Bournemouth, is there anywhere else they're gonna be happy in England?
I'm not sure because Bournemouth is. I've been there a few times and it's a lovely place. I'm very surprised, but it can be a bit
I've
ice.
never been,
But then it depends on what it is about it that they don't like. It's a seaside resort. It's beautiful to look at. You know, there's nice big houses by the seaside. You know what I mean? It's the coast. It's lovely, but it's a bit out of the way. So if what they're bothered about is they feel a bit isolated and, you know, away from their family and that, moving somewhere like, say, I'm not, there's Everton and Liverpool potentially could be destinations for him. Both of that is like Liverpool, for example, you know, there's quite a Spanish, you know, there's a fair, decent Spanish presence there. There's people like Rafa
Manchester.
Benitez and his family, you know what I mean? There's quite a few there. And
What about
London
Manchester?
as well. Again, there's quite a lot. You know, there's a Spanish community there. You know, so there's places they could go, which might negate the problems he's having there. Might change
But
things.
anywhere you move from Bournemouth, and I without any knowledge and experience shouldn't be sharing it with you, an English scouser. But anywhere you go from Bournemouth, you're not going to enjoy the weather quite as much.
And there is that. The weather will definitely be a problem.
It,
But it's like I said, it depends on what it is that the family don't like. If it is the weather, then you know, then just not going to get the weather in England.
and
So
also like
yeah,
like
it's understandable.
just
Forget
to,
it.
just to play the devil's advocate, maybe Iraola is not that easily persuaded by his family to take the easy route instead of
Hmm.
the best route. Like
Yeah, I mean,
as a Man United fan, I know like
yeah, Man
Vinicius'
United as
wife
well.
hated
Yeah.
Manchester from the moment he landed. Vidic just got on with his life as a
Hmm.
professional player.
Who did
Maybe
who did you
Iraola is
say?
also Nemanja Vidic.
Oh, Nemanja Vidic. Yes, of course. Yes, I was thinking of Alvarez. That was the one that was in my head. But then the
Julian
rest,
Alvarez left.
yeah, he's another one. And then famously, his missus hated it.
Di Maria's wife as well.
Yeah, I mean it's understandable because it's the weather's shit. It's raining, it's gloomy, but there are nice parts if you. I mean, especially out in Cheshire and that where they all live, the footballers and that. They're not really in Manchester anyway, so why is it so bad? I mean, some areas of Liverpool are shitholes, and some areas are beautiful.
No,
You know, there is
but
some
we
beauty. So anywhere
but
around there,
come
you
on.
could just avoid places
I
like
will
Burnley.
I will defend it like this. For you and I, Cheshire, I've not been there. It is probably best because we're choosing between a pile of coal and a pile of diamond. But for them, they're choosing between Paris, Madrid, Barcelona, London, Munich. Like this, every place is like a big city. It all comes with its own uh,
Mm.
different flavor, but they're having to pick between one of the best, not either best or
Yeah, but
worst
I
things.
mean, you can also, if you go to Paris, there's plenty of shit parts there too. It's not all beautiful, you know what I mean? So there's pros and cons in any city and any area, any place you go. There's always
Yeah,
things to
but
find.
we're
I
not
mean,
gonna
some of the
go on
most
the
beautiful parts of the world is Scottish High, in in Scotland there's some beautiful islands out in the middle of nowhere. Most beautiful land you'll ever see, really nice. But you've got no internet access, you've got no access to it by car, you have to take a boat to get across. You know what I mean? There's things like that. There's always a downside to even the best looking place. So there's nowhere perfect. See, the question is, what does she not like? And is it enough for it to stop him carrying on with what he's doing? Or is he going to be like Rafa Benitez and just say, "Will you stay where you are then, love? And I'll go and take the job in Inter or wherever." and you just stay in Liverpool like Rafa did with Monty because he couldn't
And
because
also,
he's
like, there's
obsessive.
one more layer to this onion. Like, just at the same, like, pretty much the same time, Iraola was confirmed to be leaving Bournemouth. Athletic Bilbao also confirmed
Mm.
the new manager for next season in Eddie Turcic. So that is one avenue that is firmly shut
I
down for
thought
him
that was
right at this moment.
I thought that was very surprising because if Areola is available, why would you not take him? I don't understand that when you don't because there's only for me there's
No,
only three. You know, if
could
you're
that be a sign? Could that be a sign that he kind of sort of like gave them the
he's not
idea
going.
that he
He's got somewhere else, yeah, in mind. That's what I was going to say, yeah, because it's like in my mind, there's at the moment there's three potential top tier possibilities if you're looking at if you're a club looking for a top tier manager at the moment. There's only really there's three that stand out above the rest. Hunes, Sebastian Hunes at Stuttgart, and fantastic. His football's fantastic, and that I'm talking about available, obviously. Andoni Iraola and Xabi Alonso. It's the other one. I mean, obviously, you got people like Glasner, but his football's shit. He's a total knobhead. He's going to be a stroppy
you're
little
not a
twat.
fan.
No, I'm not a
You're
fan. His
not a
football's abysmal. I mean, they really are short. They make Arteta seem exciting, like he's playing attacking football. They're horrible to watch, Palace are. And I don't understand the hype with Glasner at all. He's a horrible manager. He's
I
just
like him.
an
I
absolute,
like him. We could do a podcast
really.
somewhere down the line about
Yeah,
Glasner.
that's what.
I like him. All in
Yeah,
all, I like him.
should we two take him at Man United to
Yeah.
play three at the back and sit back and play counter-attacking
Yes.
football and make no attempt to attack whatsoever? Oh,
I would
I
try and
wouldn't.
give him
You
a
only have to
go
look at the
and
players.
have a
How
look
many
at
players have improved under him? Wharton looks awful this season under him. No,
Hender
I
has
can't
been
see it.
decent. Lacroix has been decent.
Yeah,
Munoz
but
kind of
defending
sharp.
because but they're not. They're not having to do any
But
actual
they,
playing.
I always
That's what I'm saying.
as Odysseus like
Yeah, but
that,
again, they weren't playing, and Elise didn't look. I just didn't get the hype on Eze and Elise under him. Sorry, but I didn't think they were very good. They were just strolling around and occasionally, but it did what they look great in highlight reels. When you actually watch the games, which I have to do for the match roundup, I have to watch every single game. And they just aren't. Crystal Palace in general just are not a good watch. They're horrible to watch. So you know I don't like Lesnar. We're running out of time though. So quickly, come on, Man United. Who do you want?
I don't care.
Oh shit.
I've reached a point that there is not a standout guy for me anymore.
No?
Iraola probably yes because he's available. Premier League proven,
Nunes?
plays it ball,
Xabi
is
Alonso?
happy. Alonso isn't gettable. And also now, if you are Alonso, are you gonna say like I'm gonna be wedded to the three at the back system because that is what got me success. The moment I moved away from it, it turned not
No,
so
because he
great.
had success. He got the
But
job for playing a back four before he was playing. What I mean, he's not. It's not his, and he was doing well at Madrid. He was getting the
I don't think he's
highest
gettable for
win
United.
rate.
That's the most important thing. I don't think he's gettable for United.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna have to call it. Here. Come
No,
on, give me a
I,
name. Who do you want?
Iraola because he's the available guy.
But I think he'd be an excellent choice, and I hope you don't get him because I want him for us. So, and here he is, the man himself, the
The man,
legend.
the myth, the legend.
Oh my God, and he's had his haircut.
I told you. I told
I
you.
know, but I
There's a
didn't
lot.
believe you.
Oh no, it's like twice a year. It's for sure.
Looks much better.
Hmm. Ah, you would say that.
I know you just
And
wanted to
I
be
would just,
like me.
no, I would just reply, I look better in anything.
Oh, really? Oh, good one.
We should start.
Yeah. Okay. So,